Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Rick Brown with the Brown Home Group, and this is Beyond the Key podcast. This podcast is all about real people, real stories, and real conversations, from entrepreneurs to community leaders and everyday change makers. We're here to shine a light on the journeys that inspire, challenge, and connect us. It's not just about what people do, it's about who they are, what drives them, and the impact they're making in the world around them. So whether you're here for insight, inspiration, or just a good story, you're in the right place. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get into it and go beyond the key. Hey, welcome to another episode of Beyond the Key. Today, I am excited to welcome one of our top team agents, Blaine Wyker. What's up, Blaine?
What's up, everybody? How are you?
I'm fantastic, and I know you're doing fantastic, and really just want to kind of let the audience know and the listeners that are listening, which we hope you are on Spotify, as well as watching this on our YouTube channel. And please click on the link below to share and follow. But yeah, let's dive right into it. So everybody wants to know who's Blaine Wyker and kind of what inspired you to get into real estate. And how'd you end up joining me?
Gotcha. Yeah. Who's Blaine Wyker?
Is that a long story? Is that more than 40 minutes?
That is a very loaded question, but
okay.
I guess in short, I just love to have fun and I love helping people. And that's ultimately how I got into real estate. So I started back in 2017, 2018. I started a digital marketing kind of firm that I started right off the bat, was helping real estate agents. And I had a few realtors I was helping with their Facebook and Instagram pages and all that kind of stuff. And then ultimately got introduced to a title company who we all know, Chelsea with Magnolia Closings, and started helping them. And in the midst of this, I had one of the realtors, I was actually friends with him, and I'd always been interested since I was young to be a real estate investor. And so I was like, well, I want to start investing. You know, what do I need to do? How do I learn? And he said, the best thing you can do is start learning the game and learning real estate. The best way to do that, get your license, start selling houses. You know, you'll kind of surround yourself with the industry. And so in the midst of that, I was getting my license and helping Chelsea, helping these other realtors with, you know, the ads and the social media. And Chelsea introduced me to Rick. And I say the rest is history. I think it was kind of a win-win for everyone, right? So you needed someone who had the social media knowledge, the marketing knowledge, and I needed someone to teach me how to sell houses, you know, get into real estate and help people in that realm. So we kind of built off each other, I think. And like I said, the rest is history.
Yeah, I know when you came to us, obviously, I think you were 20?
Yeah, 19, 20, somewhere in that.
And you were, I think you were juggling a couple jobs. I think you were doing
three jobs.
Yeah. So you were juggling a few jobs, and I was a year into the team, and being at my age, I was struggling with how to build our brand, right? How to get our brand off the ground. Mm-hmm. And my daughter Lindsay had just left me to go and venture into becoming an amazing wedding photographer, which she is. So if you're looking for a wedding photographer, let us know. We'll get you in touch with Lindsay. But that being said, I would always reach out to her and go, honey, how do I do this? How do I do that? And at the time, I think Maria just joined me. And Maria was just as lost as I was when it comes to social, probably because of our age. We were still in the Facebook days, right? I think we just come out of the MySpace days, so that's really aging.
Right.
So yeah, you came along. Chelsea, actually, I had vented to. I'm like, Chelsea, I don't know what to do. And she said, oh, you know what? I got a kid who is really taking, social media to another level. And like you said, you came in, we threw everything but the kitchen sink at you, and you didn't flinch. You just kind of said, hey, let me have it. I'm willing to understand, the whole real estate side. You had the knack or the creativity that I lacked. So bottom line is, you then came to me and said, "Hey, I really think I could do this. I've been listening to you," because I think you were in my office, and you said, "What do I got to do to get my license?" And I think I helped you kind of go down that path. And I said, "Look, I'm 100% willing to support, because I thought you'd going to be great," and I was right. Not to say that you wouldn't have been great without me, but I like to think that I had a little bit of
a lot of it for sure.
Well, I appreciate that. But so that's kind of, yes, how you ended up joining us. So let's just kind of talk about challenges that you have. And what's one of your biggest challenges you faced in your career so far? I say career. When I think that, I'm like, you've been in the business 20 years. But you're getting there, right? You're getting there, right?
It's a career. I mean, it's
7 years.
So
yeah,
man, challenges every day is a challenge. Ultimately, there's a new challenge, a different challenge every day, every minute, every hour. I was lucky to have you guys when I started, because a lot of the challenge, I think, for new realtors comes up front, learning the business. You know, I had gotten my license, passed the state test right after joining you as the social media manager and marketer. So I had like no idea what to do, how to take buyers and sellers through the process. They don't teach you that. They just teach you how to, I like to say, how not to get sued and not to get in trouble in real estate. So, but most of my challenges were kind of taken off my plate right off the bat, because I had so many people who had been in the business for a while and mentoring me and teaching me. I just surrounded myself with you guys. But yeah, I mean, every day is a different challenge. I really can't pinpoint a specific challenge. It's always, I guess the only thing I could say is scaling my business. I always want to continue doing more and doing better. So not that it's necessarily a challenge, but it's always something to work for.
right.
So I guess that's the best way to put that. But yeah, I don't really have a specific challenge I can think of.
So just to kind of cap off of that, when you have a challenge, how do you overcome it? Like, if you're having all these challenges, and I know, obviously I've known you now going on 7 years, I see you beat yourself up, right? When you're not at the level where you want to be, or just not having a good day. And, we talk about it on the team about winning the day. How do you know when you haven't won the day?
So I've talked about this with the team before, but I do what's called the power list. Something for those listening, you might know Andy Frisella, the Real AF podcast. He's a huge entrepreneur. I run my life on a calendar, right? You know that my Google Calendar is filled to the brim every day. But that's what helps me, right? So,
right.
But back to that, I kind of base my days on the power list, and I base my power list on my days. So I typically try to do 5 to 6 tasks that day that are going to move my business forward, right? So whether that's, attending a class or cold calling expires, whatever that is, that's going to propel my business forward, it's going to be on those tasks. And if I check all those tasks off that day, whether it's at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m., if I check those tasks off, I've won the day and I can do whatever else I want. I think, we have the same mindset of we're always growing. We always want to get better. So even when I check those off, I'm like, what else can I do? How much more can I do? But what was your original question? I kind of got off on a tangent on this power.
No, because you say that, challenges, you get them every day.
Yep.
And in our business, there are real estate agents out there, and that's who we're talking to today is if you are a real estate agent and you are struggling, this is a guy on our team that, struggles every day. And I do too, right? Maybe for different reasons, but we all have struggles. And it's really, I like to think that having our team around us helps with those struggles. You can bounce things off of me and I bounce things off of you. It's kind of been a full circle, right? Because I'm learning from you. I've been in this business. I just celebrate 10 years this month. And ultimately, I'm always learning. And to overcome challenges is about learning, right? It's about 100%. Figuring out what can you do to not let those challenges defeat you, right? And so the question was, how do you overcome them? And what you're telling me, if I hear you, is the fact that you don't always overcome them. You just have to like categorize them, right?
Yeah, well, you face them head on, right? So, like you said, we have each other to bounce ideas off of and learn from.
Right.
But like, if I have a challenge I've never come across before, if it's something specific, I come into the office and I've got 10 to 20 people who maybe have experienced it or have an opinion on it, and I can bounce ideas off of them. But each and every challenge, no matter how big or small they are, you just face it head on. You go to the first step of like, what's the challenge and what's the solution you need, and you kind of back engineer it. You figure it out. That's just how I always am.
Yeah. So let's kind of dive into some insights and expertise, right, to help the agents that are listening. If you're a realtor out there, and kind of what's one strategy or a habit that helps you continue to be successful in building your business in your business?
There's very many, but I would say time management is probably one of the. It's got to be up there at the top. I mean,
yeah.
Again,
you take if it's in your calendar, it doesn't exist. If it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. You take that to the next level. And yeah, I will say you actually are better than me with that. Anybody on this team would say that you really take that to heart, which is from our coach Craig Delahoy, who always has said, hey, if it's on your calendar, it doesn't exist. And I know that's a anomaly that everybody says, but it's so true. And so time management, you feel, helps you be successful in your business.
Yeah, I mean, because I used to be such a disorganized person, so I had to learn the skill of time management and the power list, all these things that help me be successful. And it eventually becomes a habit. Like, I don't think about it. People, I've talked to people on the team, like, how do you do this? So it's like, it's every Sunday go in, I create my week. And if it changes, it changes. You have to, if you erase it, you have to replace it. Right. But it's so, I think
hold on. Say that again.
Just if you erase it, you have to replace it.
I love that. Yeah. That's great.
So a lot of agents will come into the business and they don't know what to do. Well, whether you're part-time, full-time, whatever, go in whatever day of the week you want to, set your day up, set your week up. And then when you wake up on Tuesday morning, you say, okay, you look at your calendar. Okay, I'm going to knock 30 doors today. And then I'm going to contact my sphere. And then I'm going to attend this class at Keller Williams. And then you have a plan to go off of, right? Because if not, you're just kind of blind leading the blind. Yeah. You're just walking down a path in the dark and you don't have a flashlight, and no batteries, nothing. You have nothing. But if you have something to try to do or to a goal to achieve, then you can at least work towards it. That's why I think it's the most crucial thing, because there's so many agents who come in brand new and they're like, what do I do? And I say, well, the knowledge is out there. It's not a matter of how do you do it, right? Figuring out how to do real estate, because you can learn from anybody. There's so much knowledge out there for free on the internet and here at our classes in the office, but it's execution. You have to set the time to do it and then actually do it.
And let's not forget, we are now starting a new class every Monday, starting this coming Monday, where I'll be actually holding a mastermind on April 7th here in the Market Center. And if you're interested, we'd love to get you in. But every Monday, Blaine will actually be teaching, and all our mentors, our superhero mentors, as I like to call them, each have stepped up and will be holding one of those masterminds. So if you're a realtor out there, don't have to do a KW. Come out, join us, meet us up here in the training room, and let's talk about your business. Let's talk about how we can help each other, because obviously we can learn from each other. And if you're a new agent out there, then we're willing to offer advice, support, and what have you. And who knows, if you're struggling, maybe looking at finding a team that can help build you up and move your business forward, which is what we should be doing, right? I mean, you're going to fall back, but always we say fall forward. So, and at Brown Home Group, we can definitely assist that. So let me ask you, what's a common mistake that you see buyers and sellers making right now, and how do you guide them to avoid it? let's just talk buyers right now. So, because I think most of our agents right now are going to focus on buyers. Well, let me ask you, where do you think this market is right now? Do you think it's still a buyer's market?
I think it's still somewhat of a buyer's market. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the statistics, right, we've got more inventory than we have demand. But personally, I mean, I've been taking buyers out every day, every night for the past 2 weeks. My wife has been, she asked me today, she's like, are you going to be home for dinner? I'm like, yeah, actually, I should be. I haven't really been home for dinner the past few weeks. But,
Right.
there's a lot of demand because the interest rates are going down. I think in Central Florida, we're going to stay strong. I know there's so many different opinions out there, and I think that's one of the big mistakes that both buyers and sellers make, but especially right now, buyers. I've heard it's for the past 6 years. Oh, I'm going to wait for the market to crash. Oh, I'm going to wait for the market to crash. Oh, I heard it's not a good time to buy. The biggest mistake you make is not talking to a professional who's in it every day. And yeah, there are some professionals, other agents who have maybe differing opinions, but ultimately you have a better chance of getting the right information and understanding it more versus reading an article on NBC News or finding something on Google or Facebook or TikTok. I saw something yesterday on TikTok where they're saying, oh, the Florida market's really bad and there's way more inventory and all this stuff. And what he was actually referring to, but he didn't say it, was South Florida, where the Southwest Florida hurricane hit really hard. So you have all these homes who can't get insurance. That right there, from what I've seen, is a 100% buyer's market. People are having a hard time selling. When we talked to someone when we were in Cozumel a few months ago, and he was selling in Cape Canaveral, or one of these cities down there, and he's like, yeah, there's 100 houses on the market in my neighborhood, and but again, you can't take everything for what it is. You have to look a little deeper and talk to professionals. I think that's the biggest mistake people make.
Yeah, I agree. And I think right now the market is always shifting.
Yeah.
So what's an approach that you do to stay ahead of that and adapt to the changes that are taking place right now?
At the end of the day, there's one principle as a real estate agent that you have. So be top of mind for those who need to buy or sell. Right.
All right, say that again.
Your job as a real estate agent is be top of mind for those who need to buy or sell. That's it. No matter what the market is, 2008, 2020, 1999, doesn't matter. Everyone has to buy or sell. Everyone needs a place to live. Mm-hmm. So the way I don't really think about it too much, because I know at the end of the day, there's going to be people who need to buy and sell houses. My job is to not only stay relevant, stay top of mind, but stay knowledgeable and always have innovative ideas or tools or resources that are going to actually provide that value for those customers. Because again, whether the market's going down or it's going up, people are buying and selling. So I just need to, as a realtor, I need to have all the knowledge and resources that is going to help them and then be top of mind. So I don't do anything specific other than, continue learning. That's one of the big things as not only a business owner, but an agent. You need to continue learning at all times. But just stay top of mind for people.
Yeah. So you've had a lot of success stories and you've had a lot of client experiences that I know would stand, in line and say, what an amazing realtor. Can you share a memorable client story that, really solidified why you love doing what you do? I know there's too many, right?
There's way too many. There's one story that I can't say it necessarily solidified why I love doing what I do, but it definitely like shines light on it. Because what I like doing is I don't sell people anything. Again, I just provide value. So I help people with what they want to do. Whether they're buying, selling, renting, investing, whatever, I just give them the knowledge and tools and resources to make the best decision for themselves. So I don't feel like I ever need to convince somebody. I don't, try to sell anything. I just help you out with whatever you want to do. So there's a couple that I helped them buy and sell, and they loved it. I mean, I was just at their house last week. We had some pizza and some wine and talked about life and, jobs and all this stuff. And when I met them, they're very standoffish type, kind of like, but I somehow built a relationship with them at this open house that we did, and we weren't even supposed to be there. You had actually had to help this agent out because something happened. We ended up hosting the open house over in Oviedo or Chuliota, right off Snow Hill Road, and that's how I met them. So we weren't even supposed to be there. They walked in, and I do my whole thing, talk to them, answer questions, and they leave. And the next day, I do my follow up, and the wife answers the phone. She's like, "Holy crap! He really gave you like a real phone number. Like he must have liked you because her husband will never, give the real information.
Oh, right.
He's that kind of person who'll leave down a fake phone number and email because he doesn't want to hear from you. And I do my thing over the course of months and a year or two. I end up helping them, but they become some of my best friends. The wife officiated my wedding. I mean, we hang out, we talk, and it's I think it's the relationship building that I love because they're now some of my best friends, and I never would have known them if it wasn't for being in real estate.
That's a great story. Yeah,
that's at the end of the day, it's just being a friend to people and helping them with what they need to do, and that's it. I don't know. I think that's like the best story in my opinion because never in a million years would I have thought to officiate my wedding. From just that open house.
So this kind of leads into the next question, which kind of works out because you kind of told that story and why, but like, what's an approach for you that you build these lasting relationships with clients just beyond the transaction? As we say at Brown Home Group, we go above and beyond the sale. What do you do, and how does that work?
I think questions are important because questions start. And this is, I guess, part of a sales process too, but asking questions help you understand what they want and need. And that's how you're able to provide value. And I think, with that couple specifically, we just hit it off. We were the same type of people. We got along very well, made jokes to each other, and it just works like that. And it doesn't always work that way, but I'd say 99 to 100% of the time, it's all about asking the right questions to then provide value and build those relationships because people want to work with people who are truly providing value and helping versus trying to make a sale.
Sure.
We talk about commission breath, right?
Right.
You release that commission breath. They smell it and they're like, ew, gross. I don't want to talk to this person. But again, at the end of the day, I don't try to sell. I'm not here to make a commission. I'm here to help you. And then, the rest will come. The commission will come. The results will come.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's questions like the best thing. And then just being a person. Don't fake it. Be who you are, and people resonate with it. If they don't like you, they don't like you. It is what it is.
I was just going to say that 100%. I feel like, no offense, I'm going to take care of you, but if you don't want to work with me, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Right. We can part as friends and move on. But I want to work with people that understand my value proposition, and what I'm going to do to, find that next home. All right. So I know we're getting on a little bit of time here. We still I have a few more questions, but one question I want to ask, and this is for our listeners out there, if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice, or maybe you don't want to give yourself, but let's talk about the new agent coming in, just getting started, kind of freaking out, just got their license. What would that be?
There's not one thing.
Okay.
Again, I was lucky to have you guys.
I kind of figured there wasn't one thing, but I thought I would try.
I was lucky to have you guys. I mean, I can maybe pinpoint one thing.
Okay.
Because you can encapsulate all of it into this one thing, but it'd be consistency. Consistency in learning, consistency in lead generation, consistency in providing value, consistency in taking action, and consistency in everything. I was lucky I just have the mindset I'm always working, so that helps me. But I know new agents will come in, they make that first sale, and then they're like, oh, I'm going to go to, Jamaica. And then they come back like, oh, I have nothing now. It's consistency. You have to continuously work because what you do today most likely will not result for another 3 to 6 months, maybe more. You get those one-off where you sell the house that day and it's great, but consistency is key.
So I hear that consistency, and I would say building a pipeline, right? Which comes with consistency, continuing to lead generate, which comes with consistency. So you're 100% right in the fact that everything kind of involves around that, and just never give up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, And I don't want to say this because obviously we're on a team, but it's probably not a bad idea if you're a brand new agent to find a good team that can give you the tools and the platform as well as the mentorship or the coaching to where you don't feel like you're on an island. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of great brokerages out there that have great training. KW, where we're at, as what we consider the best. And for those listeners out there, that if you are looking to join KW, we'd love to have a conversation with you. Blaine would love to talk to you. And who knows, maybe that conversation develops into why you would maybe think about joining Brown Home Group. We do have some limited space, but we are always looking for talent. You know, and some of that talent comes from different ways, just like you came to us. I mean, you weren't talent, and you've become now one of our top agents and a leader on this team, and you are a mentor. So, you know, if you're listening out there and you like what you're hearing about Blaine Wyker, then definitely he's somebody that I know he rolls up his sleeve, goes above and beyond, which is obviously our slogan. Not just for you, our client, if you're out there and you're looking to buy or sell. Blaine's very passionate. And I mean, that's why you're part of Brown Home Group. I mean, obviously, we're a family. But you make me better as a team leader, and you make this team better because of your dedication, your commitment, your consistency, and overall passion for what you do. It's like you said way in the beginning. It's not about commission breath. It's about taking care of the client, servicing the client. Sometimes it does, you know, regards to how we take care of the client. It has nothing to do with money, right? It's just making sure that we get them where they need to go, that destination or that final journey. And I think, you know, I asked you why you do it. I mean, that's probably why you do it, right? I mean, it's just the whole point of being able to hand the keys to somebody. I mean, what an amazing feeling, right? And you're young. So you're dealing with those type individuals where you just recently got married, you bought your first house. Those things are milestones in your life, and you just started that. Now I'm I'm on the tail end of it, but I'm helping young people as well, right? Like my kids. And I feel like if you're out there looking and you're listening today and you're thinking, man, we really would love to buy instead of rent. Talk to Blaine. Blaine is do it, right? Why throw your money away? So I got some fun questions now. I mean, we're getting close to the time, but I would like to know, and our listeners too, what's something people may be surprised to learn about you outside of real estate? I know what this is going to be, but I don't know if a lot of people realize that you're a pretty badass.
I don't know if I'd say that. But yeah, I mean, there's only one thing for me because it's really, I just work and I do MMA, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, all that stuff. It's just one of my passions. If I'm not working, I'm probably in the gym or I'm watching the fights. Like that's pretty much all
you've been in the ring. I mean, we sponsored you. You went through that whole training process and those whole getting down, cutting weight, all that. I watched you do that, and I have to say, amazingly impressed with how hard that was. I mean, it's probably one of the hardest things you ever did, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it takes a lot out of you. Especially the weight cut's probably the hardest part. I mean,
right.
I got down to what felt like skin and bones. It was brutal.
So what would you be doing if you weren't doing real estate? Professionally fighting?
No, I never really had much of a desire for that. I love to do it. I don't know. I may be stepping back in the cage soon.
Yeah. Did you hear that, folks? Okay.
Yeah, keep an eye out.
You hear it? Yeah.
Man, I don't know what I would be doing. I would be doing something at least similar because I think it's a passion of mine to help people. Like I said, that's why I do it. There's a lot of pros and cons to real estate, but I wouldn't get through it. I wouldn't want to continue doing it if it wasn't for the, I guess, emotional and moral benefit I guess, because I truly love, and I found this out not only through, fitness and health, where I'm telling people, how I lost weight and what I know about, nutrition and working out and all this stuff. No matter what realm this is in, I like providing information and value for people and insight. And just like, you tell me where you want to go, I'll give you the tools and resources and help you get there. And that's ultimately what real estate is for me. You tell me you want to buy a condo in Orlando. Great. Here's what you need to know. Here's my experience with some of these things, and here's some houses that you can look at, and this is the process you need to take, what questions you have, and answer those questions. It would be something along the lines of doing that. I'd be in the service industry, at least in some realm. I don't know what it would be, but I'd be doing that.
So before I close out, I want to give you the last word. And I know you have a podcast out there. So if you guys are interested in listening to Blaine's podcast, it's called what?
It's called Cage Side and Boardroom Podcast. The slogan is, it's the podcast for fighters inside and outside the cage. Because I truly believe that my goal with that is, it's just, I like doing podcasts. I think it's fun to get to talk to and get to know people. But I want to interview not only fighters, but people who are fighters outside of the cage, whether they're business owners or, literal like firefighters, or they just provide value in some way that it's a fight at the end of the day. We're all fighting, in some way, shape, or form. So, but I just love podcasting. I think it's a fun medium to kind of not only produce content, but just get to know people and provide value for people and get some insight. Again, I think it all comes back down to the same thing, providing value. Yeah. But I have that. And if I had to say anything, I'd say thank you, Rick, for not only your time, but your tools, your resources, your knowledge over the years, for making it possible. Because I know me and David have said this a million times, but we wouldn't be in real estate. We wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for you. So, and it truly changed my life. Where I come from. So, and the biggest compliment you could give me is that you went, you did it, and you could have kept doing it. But I know that just the compliment of you coming back and just hit the ground running, continue success, obviously, on this team, in life for what you do. I love your wife, Michelle. She's awesome. And she lights your light, right? So that's your motivation. I know that's something that we could have talked more about, and like, where's that motivation come from? And, I'd love to be on your show. So let's do that. I think, definitely having these conversations, educating our listeners, things of that nature. But hey, guys, that's another episode of Beyond the Key. We hope today's discussions unlock a new key to your success, whatever that may be. I'm Rick Brown with Brown Home Group, signing off. Keep exploring, keep growing.
We'll be right back.